What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Lions video. Now, over the past couple of weeks, the past 5 to 6 weeks or so, the Detroit Lions, along with the other 31 NFL franchises, have been flying around the country to attend all the different pro days and all the different outings to showcase certain athletes' athletic ability. Now, pro days this year are more important than ever as the Combine was officially canceled and the Combine will not be taking place this year. With that being the case, pro days are more important than ever, and as such, the Lions and the rest of the NFL teams have been traveling around to different pro days more than usual. Now, today's video, I wanted to talk about some of the top prospects the Lions have been targeting, some of the top prospects at the very top of the board that could be looking to join the Detroit Lions come draft night, talk about some of their impressive pro days, talk about what it means for these players as far as what they will do in the NFL, as far as how it affects their draft stock, and what it means for them if they were to fall to the Lions with the 7th overall pick. Now, before we get into the video, before we start talking about some of the dominant pro days that have been happening around the country, if you're new to the channel and you are enjoying the content, if you're enjoying the draft content and this Lions content, please consider liking the videos and subscribing to the channel. It takes just 2 seconds out of your day to do so. It's quick, free, and easy, and you could be helping the channel out more than you could possibly know. So if you could do that, take those 2 seconds to hit the like and the subscribe button, as well as maybe just hitting the post notification bell. I'd be greatly appreciative for it. But with all of that being said, and without any further ado, let's get right into talking about this pro day dominance by some of the top draft targets the Lions may be looking to acquire. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning, today we are going to be talking about some of the more impressive pro days to be happening around the country and really focus in and really specify the particular player at that particular pro day. Now, today's video, I have 4 prospects in mind that I want to talk about, guys that had really impressive pro days, guys that a lot of Detroit Lions fans have been talking about as targets on draft night, and 4 guys that I felt had very, very impressive pro days that really helped raise their stock. Now, the 4 players we'll be talking about today are wide receiver Jamar Chase, Oregon offensive tackle Penei Sewell, Northwestern offensive tackle Rashaan Slater, as well as North Dakota State University's quarterback Trey Lance. Today we'll be talking about these 4 prospects in particular, and if you guys enjoyed the video, if you guys like this concept, we can of course come back and do more prospects and more pro days on a later video. However, starting off with today's first prospect and today's first pro day, we'll be taking a look at LSU wide receiver Jamar Chase. Now, Jamar Chase went to his pro day after opting out of the 2020 NFL season in preparation for the NFL draft. Now, Jamar Chase measured in at 6 feet even, weighing in at 201 pounds. Now, Brad Holmes was the only member of the Lions organization to attend Jamar Chase's pro day. However, if you're going to have just one guy attend, Brad Holmes is probably the guy you want. Now, Jamar Chase, as I said, opted out of the 2020 NCAA season to prepare for the NFL draft. However, he was working all offseason and was working throughout the entire season to improve his athletic ability and, of course, improve his technique and really refine everything to be the best possible player when he gets to the draft and when he gets into the NFL. Now, at his pro day, Jamar Chase showed out and had a very, very impressive athletic display as he had an 11-foot broad jump, which is very, very impressive at the wide receiver position. He had a 41-inch vert, which is higher than both DK Metcalf and Julio Jones had at their combines, as well as running in the 4.3 range. He ran a 4.38 40-yard dash, which for a guy of his size and a guy that a lot of people were expecting something more in the 4.4s, mid 4.4s of that, was a really, really impressive time. A guy running in the 4.3s, a guy that can jump 41-inch vertical, and a guy with an 11-inch broad is not an easy athlete to find, especially at the wide receiver position. Now, Jamar Chase has been hyped up. He's been looked at for a long time at this point as being a potential potential suitor for the first non-quarterback to come off the board. Of course, Lawrence is likely going 1. Zach Wilson is likely going 2. The Niners are likely taking a quarterback, but come the 4th overall pick, come the Atlanta Falcons, it's very, very possible that Jamar Chase is the first non-quarterback taken off the board. And with his athletic testing and his athletic numbers at his pro day, that may have just helped his case that much more. Jamar Chase has been looked at as the best wide receiver in this class since the 2019 NCAA season, where he was the best wide receiver in college football. He put up over 1,800 yards and over 20 touchdowns in behind Joe Burrow's Heisman campaign. He was a big part of that 2019 LSU championship roster and is likely going to be the best wide receiver from this class. He was looked at as the best wide receiver, was looked at as he's actually not even being the best athlete at wide receiver. However, he came out and silenced all of those critics and all of those doubters with his impressive pro day at LSU. The second pro day we'll be talking about, and the second prospect that we will be taking a look at today, is Oregon's offensive tackle Penei Sewell. Now, Penei Sewell measured in at his pro day at 6'4", 331 pounds. Now, this pro day was actually attended by our new offensive coordinator in Anthony Lynn. And of course, Anthony Lynn, being a former running back, really knows what he wants in his offensive lineman. Of course, with Anthony Lynn being the new offensive coordinator, he obviously has an idea of what he wants his offense to look like. And with him attending Penei Sewell's pro day, of course, that's him doing his due diligence. That's him being there for one of the top prospects in the draft. That could be a sign that they're looking to take an offensive line, and could be a sign that although Anthony Lynn says that the offensive line is the strongest position on the team and the strongest position on the offense, it may not be done being built just yet. Now, Penei Sewell showed a very rare display of athleticism at his pro day. He was very, very impressive, especially for a guy standing at 6'4", 331 pounds. Now, Penei Sewell ran an unofficial 5.09 second 40-yard dash, which for a guy at 331 pounds is really, really impressive. He put up 30 reps on the bench, which is really good. 30 reps of 225 is not an easy feat to accomplish, as well as having a 28-inch vert and a 109-inch broad jump, measuring out to be just under or just over 9 feet with the broad. Now, this is not normal athleticism from an offensive lineman. This is not normal. This is not something that you see at every single pro day or every single combine. Penei Sewell, along with being the best offensive lineman in the class, along with having really good technique, being a very smart NFL player or very smart NFL prospect, he also then came out and had a very, very impressive display of athleticism. I mean, offensive linemen at his size and his weight do not typically run that fast or move as well as what we saw at Penei Sewell's pro day. He's going to be one of the top picks. He's going to go in the top 5. There's almost no chance the Lions get him with the 7th overall pick. But if he does happen to fall, that will be one of the easiest picks Brad Holmes will ever have to make. It'll be one of the best picks the Lions make in franchise history. It could help secure the Lions' offensive line for the next half a decade. It really could help solidify that offensive line and could end up being the final missing piece to the Lions' offense before they go to focus on the defense. Penei Sewell is one of my favorite prospects in this class. He's been one of my favorite prospects since I first saw him a few months ago. Since I first really got into scouting this 2021 draft class, he's been one of my favorite prospects from day one. And with his athletic display, my love for Penei Sewell and my just absolute, like, everyday, day in, day out wishing that he falls to pick 7 continues to grow. If he falls to 7, it will be one of the best picks in the draft. It will be one of the best values in the draft, and the Lions would be considered one of the luckiest teams out there, because there's no way he should fall to 7, but if he somehow does make it to 7, the Lions have no choice but to select him. Now, moving on to the next offensive lineman, the second big name offensive lineman, and my second favorite offensive lineman in this draft class. Today, we'll be talking about offensive tackle and Northwestern's offensive tackle, Rashaan Slater. Now, Rashaan Slater had his own very, very impressive pro day at the Northwestern pro day. Rashaan Slater measured in at 6'4", 304 pounds, so a little bit smaller than what Penei Sewell measured in at. However, still a really, really good size for offensive linemen. Now, this pro day was actually attended by our offensive line coach, which again, very similarly to Anthony Lynn, he's a guy that specializes in offensive line. It could be a sign that the Lions are looking to add that right tackle. Could be a sign the Lions are looking to draft that right tackle of the future, and they're really trying to get that final piece of the offensive line. Again, they're doing their due diligence. They're going to one of the top pro days in the country. They're going to see one of the best offensive linemen in the country. So it could mean nothing, but it could also be really telling of what the Lions are looking to do come draft night. Rashaan Slater at his pro day ran an official 4.88 second 40-yard dash. So was a little bit faster than Penei Sewell. However, as I said, was about 30 pounds lighter. He did put up 33 reps on the bench, which was more than Penei Sewell, and did have a 3.74 3-cone shuttle, which is a really, really good time for an offensive lineman of his size and weight. Now, again, very similarly to what Penei Sewell was able to do, Rashaan Slater has a very, very good athletic showing at his pro day. He showed a lot of athleticism that is not normal among offensive linemen, and of course, with both of them having very impressive, very athletically gifted, personas, having pro days that were really, really impressive from the athletic standpoint, that's the reason that they are considered the top 2 tackles in the class, because they're technically sound. They are really good tackles. Just in general, they're very talented. They're very technically refined. They have really good technique, but also that athleticism puts them at just a higher level than everybody else, because outside of those two and maybe Tevin Jenkins, they are in a tier of their own as far as athletes at the offensive line in this class. Now, Rashaan Slater is the most likely guy to fall to the Detroit Lions with the 7th overall pick. And if the Lions are selecting 7, I am hoping the Lions do end up taking Rashaan Slater. As I said, I believe Penei Sewell will be gone. I believe Jamar Chase will be gone, and of course, completing that offensive line could be really beneficial to the Lions team. I think he's a really good tackle. The only real downside to his pro day was that his arms, his wingspan measured it at a little bit less than average, a little bit undersized. However, it did not affect him at Northwestern. He was still able to hold up versus all the great pass rushers the Big Ten had to offer, including the former 2nd overall pick Chase Young. He had no problems in college. I don't see a lot of problems. Maybe a little bit of a growing pain here and there in the NFL, but nothing big enough to warrant not taking him with the 7th overall selection. And of course, with that being the case, we will be getting onto the final prospect of today's video in North Dakota State quarterback Trey Lance. Now, Trey Lance measured in at his pro day at 6'4", 277 pounds. This pro day was attended by both our new general manager Brad Holmes as well as our new head coach in Dan Campbell. Both our new head coach and our general manager attended this pro day, which should tell you something. Now, I could not find a 40-yard dash, a bench press, or any athletic testing like that for Trey Lance's pro day. However, he did have 66 throws, did have 66 attempts on the day, missed a couple throws here and there, but made a lot of really, really impressive throws, had a lot of really good balls in the air. I mean, he looked really solid, really sharp on his pro day, and played really, really well. Of course, it is scripted. However, the throws he was making were not necessarily the easiest throws in the world, and although he missed a couple, although he even said himself he'd like to have a couple of those throws back, for the most part, he looked really, really good at his pro day, especially after opting out for a majority of the 2020 season as well. With that being the case, those are the 4 prospects I wanted to take a look at today. Those are the 4 prospects that I found that had truly dominant pro days that the Lions could look to target within the top 7 picks. If you enjoyed the video, of course, as I said in the beginning, we can always do another installation of this. There is no shortage of impressive pro days this season. Of course, Justin Fields had a good one. Kyle Pitts had a good pro day. Micah Parsons, Zach Wilson, everybody else had a very, very impressive pro day as well. So if you enjoyed the video, please let me know down in the comments below. Consider giving the video a like to let me know you enjoyed the video and let me know that you want a second installation. And if you do want a second video structured like this, let me know down in the comments what players you would like to see in the next video. But with all that being said, that is all I got for you guys today. Thank you all so very much for watching the video. If there's Lions news, if there's Lions rumors to come out before tomorrow, then I will of course make a video letting every single person know. But until then, that's all I got for you guys right now. Thank you all so very much for watching, and until next time, and as always, go Lions.